Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. This is your Govindraj. So today we are going to talk about this EPFO link for retired employees higher pension to validate your claims. I have already made a lot of videos on this topic. I would request you to watch those videos also for detailed clarity. However, in this video, before getting into the link, let's briefly explain you about the case of retired employees. The Honorable Supreme Court on 4th November 2022 actually gave a judgment and held the case of R.C. Gupta is held to be valid, and the Provident Fund Department should implement the directives within 8 weeks. So accordingly, they have issued the circular dated 29/12/2022. I will come back to the circular little later, but briefly, let's look into the judgment, what it talked about. See, if you see here, I am showing you paragraph 44(9). The Honorable Supreme Court clearly said the views taken in the division bench of R.C. Gupta case held to be valid, and the EPFO should implement the directives. And what is the case of the retired employees? That is actually talked about in the paragraph 44(5) and 6. What it said is, the employees who had retired prior to 1st September 2014 without exercising any option under paragraph 11(3) of the pre-amended scheme have already exited from the membership thereof. They would not be entitled to the benefit of this judgment. So therefore, if you have retired before 1/9/2014 and you have not opted for higher pension as per paragraph 11(3), which was existed before 1/9/2014, then if you have not opted for it, then you are not entitled for the benefit of this judgment. But if you have opted under para 11(3) of the EPS scheme 1995 and retired before 1st September 2014, then you can take the benefit of this judgment. So that is what it talked about in the judgment of the Supreme Court on 4th November 2022 in the case of retired employees who were members before 1/9/2014. Now let's look into the circular which was released by the EPFO, which I am showing you on 29th December 2022. This is very specifically said, this is the instructions to comply the paragraph of 44(9) read with paragraph 44(5) and 6 of the Honorable Supreme Court judgment in the matter of special leave petition 86582 to 8659 of 2019. Now in this paragraph, in this circular, what they have clearly said is, who are eligible to apply, who are the retired employees who are eligible to apply or validate their higher pension claims. So they have clearly stated there are three reasons. One is, if you are a member of Provident Fund and EPS before 1/9/2014, you would have contributed on, both you and your employer would have contributed on higher wages, which is more than the ceiling, which was 5,000 sometime and 6,500 before 1/9/2014. And under paragraph 26(6), also you should have contributed this higher contribution. And under para 11(3) of the EPS scheme, you should have exercised the joint option. Because pre-amended scheme, this paragraph 11(3) was available. In the previous videos, I already talked about what is this paragraph 11(3) and what is paragraph 11(4), which came later. So I talked about it. You have to watch those videos also for greater clarity. And if you have exercised your option under para 11(3) and you are contributing on higher wages, then if the EPFO authorities was declined, your option was declined by PF authorities, then you can now validate your claim. So this is the eligibility criteria which the EPFO has already stated in this website. Now how can you validate your claim? So here one more thing is, you should also be aware. Suppose if you have retired after 1/9/2014 and then you would have went back to EPFO for exercising the option, probably their case is still vague, because exercise of joint option under the proviso to para 11(3) of the pre-amended scheme while being members of EPS 1995. That means you should have been a member of EPS 1995 and then you would have exercised the option. Okay, so this is what is they have stated. Now you have to go back and see if you have exercised option after 1/9/2014 and your claims were declined. Now how they will take it, it is still in the dark. Let's see how they will take it. I will keep you posted on this topic also. Now, how can you validate your claims? In this circular, they already said that the link will be made available in the EPFO website. So, in this paragraph, they've already said that your link will be made available. Now, you need certain documents. Before you get into the link, you need certain documents. One is proof of joint option under para 26(6) of the EPS scheme and duly verified by the employer. See, under paragraph 26(6) gives you an opportunity for higher contribution. So you have to get a proof. And also under para 11(3) of EPS scheme, there is also one option was required to be exercised. That proof also you need. And there is a proof is also required whether you are contributing on higher wages or not. So 5,000 or 6,500, whichever is applicable, because 1/9/2014 before 6,500 and much before earlier it was 5,500 rupees. So you also have to have a proof of that. And proof of remittance in pension fund on higher wages exceeding the prevalent wage ceiling. That means if your employer has contributed only on the wage ceiling to the EPS fund, not the EPF, so then you may not be eligible for higher pension. Then the proof is required for having contributed on higher wages. Some people actually later they went back and then they gave the difference amount. So those proofs also have to be required. And if you have kept already, if your option is given and you have the EPFO has declined your claims, that proof is also is required. So this is the paragraph in the circular which talks about this proofs required. So having given this brief, now let's look at the portal, what the link is available. If you go to EPFO member portal, if you go to UAN portal, now you have there is an option already. There is a new which is link is already coming up here. Then you can click that. So if you click, so there is also already link is available, application form for validation of joint options under erstwhile para 11(3) and para 11(4) of the EPS scheme. You can click that. Then for validation again they have given another link here. Click here. Then there are 4 steps. Get authorization pin, validate user, submit application, and then they will generate a acknowledgement. Before you getting into this link, you have to have your Aadhaar and all the proofs I have stated. So you should also have your PP1 number, because after retirement you would have applied for provident fund, then they would have give you a pension order. So that copy also you should have, and the number is required. The name, date of birth, your Aadhaar number, Aadhaar linked mobile number, and if you give a CAPTCHA, then it will take you for a validation of the user, and then you can submit your application. So what details are required in the inside, then we have to take a case practically, and that I will come back to you in the next video. However, if you have all the documents, then you can actually go ahead and submit this application process. So therefore friends, I will come back to you with this information more and more. If you have not subscribed this channel, please do subscribe, and also share it with your friends and colleagues so that it also benefits them. Until then, see you friends.